Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new. If you're new here, hello, my name is Casper and I'm going to be talking to you guys about self-harm. So if you're not in the mindset or that's the right word, to watch something like this, then please don't. Please look after yourself. I will link below a whole host of helplines, websites, resources that you can access that I have found helpful. I'm a big believer in only promoting things that I think are genuinely helpful, because otherwise there's just no point. Um, Having said that, I'm not an expert, I'm not a mental health professional. I haven't done the training. I just have experience. I just have a lot of experience, which I shouldn't have in this sort of thing. But all of these things that I'm going to be giving you are coping skills that, like I said, I've found useful. They may not work for you, but if you join any kind of coping skills group, the number one thing they will tell you is, we will give you a whole list of coping skills. They may not work for you, but at least try them, which is what I recommend you do. Because coping, when it comes to this sort of thing, is just throwing it at a wall and seeing what sticks. But this is stuff that I found helpful, and things that, after talking to other people who have gone through similar things, have also found helpful. A little bit of background. I have been using self-harm to cope for the better part of 10 years now. For reference, I'm 23. So, you do the maths. I am just shy of 6 weeks clean, which doesn't sound like very much. But in the world of recovery and addiction, because yes, self-harm is an addiction, that 1 month mark is quite a milestone, and more for me than anyone else. It's a big thing because that's the longest I've gone in over 12 months. So, yay me. And I think while I can't hand on heart say that I'm done and dusted with it forever, because A, I don't want to put that kind of pressure on myself. B, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, because that bloody terrifies me. The main difference that I have between this time being clean and all my other previous times being clean is that I actually want to be clean. And that sounds really fucking stupid. But this is a very hard lesson to learn in mental health, but it is literally the only thing that will get you clean, if I'm going to be honest. Clean from absolutely anything, not just self-harm, any kind of addiction, any kind of mental health relapse of any kind. You cannot force someone into recovery, including yourself. You can only get clean from whatever it is. You can only recover from whatever it is if you want it. And I think with all the other times I didn't want to stop, I kind of felt like I had to, in a very weird way. I don't really know how to explain it, and I'll probably do a different video detailing it a little bit more. But you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And I've been told this by so many different mental health professionals, and in the moment when I was told, I fucking hated them for it. It was like a kick in the teeth, because it was just like, you've been told it's your responsibility, because it is. But being told that at the time, when you don't really know how to do it, is, like I said, it's not a nice feeling. And I think I didn't have that mindset until a few months ago, when I had a setback and I was like, fuck. And things led one to another, and something happened, and I realized, fuck, I need to change this. Because as cringe as it sounds, nothing changes if nothing changes. And I think that's something that so many people either choose to ignore or don't know about. You know, which is why I think so many people get stuck in that cycle of just kind of becoming their mental illness. But again, that's for a whole different video. So keeping that morale up and keeping that attitude of I want this, I want this, I want this, and maybe having reasons as well, writing down a list of reasons. But I think for me, the biggest thing has just been that's helped that has just been celebrating every small little milestone, as mundane as it seems. So when I hit a month clean, I went and got like a couple of little cakes from Asda, stuck some candles in them, lit them, blew them out, and made a big thing about it. And I know it sounds really stupid and it sounds mundane, but it really makes you stop and sniff the flowers. Really makes you stop and slow down and realize how far you've come, because so much in mental health recovery we focus on how much further we've got to go until we're fully recovered, and we don't really think about how far we've come. And again, that sounds really cringe, but it's true. And I think that's that can really help with that motivation, especially after that like recovery honeymoon has kind of worn off and things kind of start to get a bit boring. You've got to keep that morale up. And for me, what's really helped that has not only been celebrating those milestones, but also keeping track of how I feel, keeping track of how long it's been. And it is a fine line between being like, yeah, I'm this long clean, and I've gone, this long stuff gone or whatever, but also not putting pressure on yourself, because it can be such a gut punch when you do finally relapse and you do break that streak, which is why, while yes, streaks can help be a morale booster, they're not the be all and end all. But again, that's something I'll talk about in a different video. Another thing that's really helped me is DBT, and I think everyone could benefit from a little bit of DBT. If you don't know what DBT is dialectical behavioral therapy. It's mainly focused around regulating your emotions. So it touches on changing your physiological state to therefore change your current mindset, if that makes sense. So things like mindfulness, not the woo-woo mindfulness, like genuine mindfulness, like genuine trying to be in the now mindfulness. So literally, if you Google DBT skills, there are so many that will come up, and I would definitely do another video on individual DBT skills. I have my DBT folder here because I've been through DBT. They have, there's self-soothe, there's tip skills, that's like shoving your head under cold water, basically waterboarding yourself. Intense exercise, ensuring that you keep up with self-care, things like that. One of the ones that I have here that I found really helpful when it comes to self-harm, but this is more, I don't know what skill this is, but it's more just kind of getting in touch with your senses. So if you don't know what toxic waste is incredibly sour sweets. Some people use this to kind of get the same kick out of, self-harm as they do with, self-harm. Some people do it to kind of shock their body and distract themselves. They focus on the sourness. You can do it popping candy, you can do it with anything. I just keep that in my little dinosaur box over there, and it helps distract me. It kind of shakes you a little bit because it's so sour. Some other things that I do to distract myself, because when it comes to self-harm urges, you'll often find they go like this. They peak, they peak, they peak. There's a peak, and then it comes down. And you kind of got to get yourself past that little hurdle of this bit. And usually you'll find that the urges only last 15, 20 minutes. But if you can get yourself through that 15, 20 minutes, you'll find that the urge is not as strong as it was, 15, 20 minutes ago. So some things that I do, I put on a comfort TV show. So for me, that's ghosts or mock the week, something that's light-hearted, something that doesn't really take much concentration, but will distract me for however long. Some people put on music, sometimes even just going downstairs, because I'll often find that there's dishes that need doing that will distract me, and then I'll realise that I need to put a wash on, and then I realise that I should probably go and get something from the shops, things like that, because you'll often find that, there's many things to do downstairs that need doing, and now is the time to do them. Going for a walk, that can really help, especially with emotional regulation. Some people like to set timers, and they'll be like, right, set a 5-minute timer, in 5 minutes I'll do it, and they just keep snoozing that alarm. If you've got like a big event or a family holiday coming up, saying to yourself, right, I'm going to wait until after then because I want to be able to wear t-shirts, or I'm meeting up with this friend next week and I want to be able to wear this outfit. Something as simple as that, because in a very mundane way, you can just do it later. And that's sometimes what I say to myself is, I'll just do it later. I don't need to do it now, because those tools aren't going anywhere. They're still in my drawer. They've always been in my drawer. They'll probably be in my drawer for a little bit longer. So if it's a good idea now, it'll be a good idea then. Usually it's not. Usually you give it half an hour and it's not as good of an idea as you thought it was. The last one, and this one I will probably talk about in a whole different video, because this one is very two-sided, and that is throwing away your tools. And I will, like I said, I'll talk about this more in a different video. But the reason why I say that is because for a lot of people, their tools are a safety blanket. And unless you are ready and prepared to throw away that safety blanket, it's not going to benefit you. Because although self-harm is far from ideal, it's better and safer to use something that you are familiar with than a new tool that you don't know how to use safely, that you don't know how to use correctly, that you don't know how to clean, that you don't know how to clean up after. It can lead to so much. It can be so much more detrimental than just using a tool that you know how to use. But at the same time, throwing away my tools has been so incredibly empowering, especially because you kind of get to a point where you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your own mind, you don't trust your own body, because I got to a point where I put myself or let myself get into situations that were quite literally life-threatening, that I just did not trust myself anymore. And so being able to take that step to make myself safer rather than put myself at risk was incredibly empowering, and was a big step in my recovery, particularly because I'm going to be honest, it was the second time I've done it. Usually I just use up my tools and go, well, guess I'm clean now. So to be able to actually throw them away and show to myself that I can do it was really, 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 really powerful. But it's linking back to that whole thing of forcing someone into recovery. So unless you genuinely want it and you're genuinely ready to not have them anymore, because that is a massive step. It's an incredibly scary thing. I know when my care coordinator mentioned it to me, it's like, oh, why don't you throw away your tools? I was terrified. I was like, no way am I doing that. And I don't think I threw them away for another 4 or 5 months after that, because I just wasn't ready. And that's okay. It's okay to have them there just in case. Yeah. But that, like I said, I'll talk about in a whole different video. I think that's all of the things for now. Maybe in 6 months' time I'll have a fresh face, I'll have a new way of looking at things. This is certainly a topic that I do want to keep picking away at and keep talking about, because it's incredibly important. It's incredibly important to me because, like I said, it's been my life for the best part of a decade. And I'm not going to shut up about it. So yeah, if there's anything you'd like to see from me, then please, send me a request. If there's anything you'd like to talk about, message me. I'm a lot more active on my Instagram, which is at creating.casper, so please don't forget to follow me on there. Like I said, I'll link below resources and websites and stuff. Please stay safe. I know it sounds hypocritical coming from me, but it's self-harm really is not worth it. Trust me, it creates so many more problems than it solves. Yeah, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.